homeless man who vanished after saving us. I work security at First National downtown. Night shifts, 11 to 7. It's mostly boredom. Coffee, grainy camera feeds, scrolling through my phone when the supervisors aren't checking. The craziest it usually gets is moving along the occasional drunk guy or calling an ambulance for some poor soul passed out near the ATM. And then there was George. He'd been around for almost 2 years. Always parked on the same bench outside the corner of the building, no matter the weather. Mid-60s maybe. Messy gray beard, thick glasses with one arm taped up. Everyone called him Crazy George because he talked to himself constantly and carried this ancient, beat-up composition notebook like it was the Bible. He didn't panhandle, didn't even ask for food, just walked in tight circles around the bench, writing furiously in that notebook, mumbling names and numbers and stuff that sounded like nonsense. Mrs. Patterson, our uptight bank manager, hated him. She'd walk by in her heels and roll her eyes like George was some contagious disease. "Call the cops," she'd say. "He's bad for business," but he was harmless. I'd nod and never call. Then last Tuesday happened. It had been raining hard since early morning. I was already annoyed. Water dripping into the lobby every time the door opened. Slippery floors, short tempers. Around 9:45 a.m., George was out there, drenched, pacing faster than usual, his notebook tucked under his jacket. But he wasn't mumbling. He was shouting, "Don't let the guy in the blue coat inside. The vault's going to get hit today. They've been casing it for weeks." He was yelling at specific people, pointing, eyes wide with panic. Customers started backing away from the door. A woman crossed the street to avoid him. Mrs. Patterson stormed over to my desk, high heels clicking like gunshots. Her hair was already frizzing from the humidity. "I told you to call the police!" He's scaring people off, but something in me hesitated. I'd seen George talk to shadows, sure, but this wasn't that. This was direct, focused, like he was warning us about something real. I told her I'd handle it and went outside during my break. George was soaked, jacket clinging to him, notebook paper fluttering as he flipped it open with trembling hands. "You need to listen to me," he said, voice suddenly steady. "I used to work in systems design, vault security, pressure sensors, camera layouts. I helped build the original schematic of this bank 20 years ago." I laughed a little, more from nerves than disbelief. "You built our vault?" He nodded, flipped to a page. Perfect layout of the interior. Angles, blind spots, sensor coverage, even emergency code location. "They're coming," he said, flipping to pages filled with tiny handwriting. 3 men. I've seen them every Thursday for weeks. Matching caps, same route, same time. One of them keeps filming with his phone. Last week they followed the armored truck down 5th Avenue. He flipped to a sketch. 3 faces, distinct. One with a teardrop tattoo. One with a scar under his eye. One wearing wire-rimmed glasses. They're wearing brown uniforms now. Delivery types. Should be here any minute. Something in my gut twisted. I went back inside and told Mrs. Patterson. She rolled her eyes. "I swear, if you don't stop indulging that lunatic." I cut her off and pulled up the outside cams. There they were. 3 men. Brown uniforms, ball caps, holding clipboards. They were walking together, fast, heading straight for our side entrance. Faces matched George's sketches exactly. My hands were shaking as I reached under the desk and triggered the silent alarm. They got to the stairwell. Then everything exploded into blue and red lights. Cops everywhere. Guns drawn. Whole thing lasted maybe 90 seconds. One guy had a loaded pistol taped to the back of his clipboard. Another had bolt cutters stuffed in his bag. The third was carrying some kind of wireless hacking device, according to the officers. Later, they told us the plan was to enter as delivery techs, disable the lower alarm grid, and drill through to the old service panel. The news called it a professional job, nearly executed. Mrs. Patterson went on camera with the press like she had cracked the case. "Due to our strict safety protocols and vigilant staff, we were able to prevent a disaster." Never once mentioned George. That night, after the fuss died down, I brought him a fresh blanket and a coffee. But the bench was empty. No sign of him. Just a dry patch on the seat. The notebook, gone too. I checked back every night that week. Nothing. Asked the 7-Eleven clerk on the corner. He'd seen George before, but not since that day. Talked to the janitor at the law firm next door. Same thing. Even the other homeless regulars said they hadn't seen him in days. It's like he vanished. No one has seen George since.